bitch, get out of my fucking way! It's Black History Month!
Hopefully you can hear me over there. I struggled a little bit and I was crying internally, but I told myself to keep going and I was pretty energized about the final outcome. I'm still crying internally, but really what's motivating me is because I really want to paint a portrait of myself. Today was day 2 of me tutoring someone with writing, and they really felt like I assisted them pretty well. So that made me feel pretty damn good. I did not do a homework assignment that was due today, and I'm really trying not to beat myself up about it. I went through all the syllabus, I printed them all, even though they're all online, and I still missed the homework assignment somehow. So tomorrow I'm working my ass off to get that assignment done to turn it in next week. But in between that time, I'm gonna email a picture of it to my professor just so she knows I wasn't bullshitting. Week 3. I'm working in a representational drawing class, and we had another model come in. It's the same model, and so I decided to start on a new piece, whereas other people were working on a piece that they had started the week prior. And so far my progress was a little bit better than the first time around. However, I noticed that my oil colors, they get muddy. So right now the solvent that I'm using, or medium, to mix my oil paint with is turpentine. I know that there are others, but I'm really trying to figure out how to wash. And so I feel like with oil paint, I am applying thicker layers when I feel like they should be a little bit lighter. That way I could build upon them and also take time to figure out like the different warm tones, the cool tones, and this will all help me create, I feel like, a better image, an image that I feel like is more believable, an image that I feel like looks like time was taken to create it. Because right now the drawings are looking very muddy. One thing that I enjoy about the class is that the professor walks around and it feels like I'm in a sport, and she's like, keep going, good job, good job. And then if she sees an area of struggle or an area that feels, or an area that needs to be more pronounced, like she mentions that, and then she shows you in a way that is applicable and you feel like you can actually do it. I will say, however, she is encouraging us without a formula to articulate our own visual language with oil paint, and just observing and looking at people and features, and encouraging us to like go up to the model to look at different parts of the body, so you're able to, because everybody's body is different, so it's just taking note of those features and then applying them in your own visual language on the paper or canvas that you're working on. I had a couple studio visits here when I'm using like a meet, and my friend Lenise came and we caught up on our girl time, because every time we link up we can always chit chat forever. But when she came to the studio, she gave me an impromptu lesson, which was really amazing, because I feel like just in one day, I feel like what I was doing yesterday is completely different from what I'm doing today. And I feel like the skills, or I guess like little cheat codes or methods, if you will, definitely gave me more confidence, because I was on the verge of tears the other day internally because of the learning curve. So today I sat and I continued to draw. I've been drawing boots for the past couple days. So I can get acclimated with just what my boots look like, shapes and forms, sizes, scale, composition, in preparation for a larger work that I'm working on. And so I did about 4 or 5 drawings on paper using oil pastel. Right before I clocked out of the studio, I began sketching with an oil paint stick, and I started using those. It's like this old 1-minute video on my channel. I started using them because George Condo was using them, and honestly they're really clutch because unlike oil pastels, which are closer to crayon, the oil paint sticks you can smudge with your finger, and when you use different mediums like turpentine, it just like blends easily. Oil pastel requires a little bit more elbow grease. So I sketched and then I began painting. So I'm just gonna let the tape roll so you guys can see what the last couple days have looked like for me. This was last week. Today, stepping into a new lane.
Makaih Beats.
This is a really good thing, so you did that so fast.
So right here I'm gonna start with a color that is dark, but it has components of red and kind of like a purple, like a dark purple, to just see the form. And even when you're doing this, you're still looking at the reference. You're kind of double referencing. And then here sometimes I take artistic liberty. Like, I understand that this seems smoother here, but I'm going to create more articulation there. Again, I'm going to look at shadows, which I feel like has some green.
Okay.
And I know it's fast, but
No, speed racer over here.
and then I'm gonna use this kind of purple, like maroon color. There's a technique called a dry brush.
It's oil. It's just unprimed paper. That's why. No, unprimed. It's just regular paper.
Makaih Beats.
When they gonna see the video, they gonna be sad. I wish we could have got down with them. You damn right you wish you could have got down with us.
I want to show that I'm like studied. So that means that I have to like acquire these skill sets. So like shape, forms, lights, and shadows actually are at the forefront, and it's like a believable piece of work.